Hi, Sue Rose Minahan, February 21st, 2021, and it's a redo, no sound. And I was talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez coming to the rescue to Texas under doing tremendously severe winter storms with no water, no heat. The gas went out. They're on their own electric grid. And the board actually doesn't even live in Texas. But despite all that, they needed food, they need water, they need heat. There's fatalities. It's very severe. Senator Cruz, he took off. And he actually didn't support the Sandy relief in New York. However, Alexandria initiated this fundraiser through Act Blue, the political fundraiser, and in 4 or 5 days has raised $5 million. And it's going to the Houston Food Bank, Family Eldercare, Feeding Texas, Bridge Homeless Recovery Center, and a bunch of other places. And she's working with some of the other House representatives in Texas, Sylvia Garcia and the former Representative Beto O'Rourke. Sylvia commented that really Texas used to joke about New York, but not now. They're very, very thankful. And wonderfully, Alexandria's attitude is if there's a portion of the United States that needs help, we're all together. We need to help them. There's reasons for that in her chart. In fact, her chart really connects so strongly with Texas and the United States in most interesting ways. Now, first off, the Texas blackout demonstrates the USA infrastructure aging. And this a, is something that our current presidency with Biden is very interested in working on. He recognizes this too, where we need to stop the greenhouse emissions and work on jobs that also have sustainable energy. The problems are right now, 1/3 of our oil production has been halted. Drinking water systems in Ohio were knocked out. Road networks nationwide were paralyzed. Vaccine efforts disrupted. I think just now, a day later, finally, with some of relief, it's beginning to get back, but it's been a real issue. It's a real warning, a crisis warning about the climate change of erratic, intense weather failure. It's like a domino effect. When one thing happens, a whole host of things occur. And it's a stress economically on the roads, railroads, water systems, power plants, electrical grids, and industrial waste. You know, Washington, D.C. is just now revamping their system for waste because when it floods up, it's not a pretty picture. And the dams also, their coastal California has their major dams that are really needing some potential work. And I think there's 90,000 around the country that could use work. So this is a big area. And again, astrology is showing us if we could read it sensitively to get a little bit of a heads up, right, about some of these issues. Homes, for instance, are being built in places where there wasn't considered to be fires, yet there are, and they're not protected by it. Our environment is, we need to work with it better. We need to understand how to do that. So let's look at some of these events with the chart. Okay, we are going to look at, first off, Alexandria and Texas, or vice versa. We could swap this around, and I've done it many ways. Okay, so this is Texas and Alexandria, and she is connected. If we look immediately, what do we see? We see that Texas is Mars, that here Alexandria's moon is in Aries, ruled by that. And she is being the nurturing mother type figure, protecting them by bringing in support, security, bringing in food, housing, all the issues that the moon would bring. Also, if you look at the North Node of Texas that they're going towards, from their self-resilience to working as an exchange of resources, which they're doing right now. Money is a huge resource in Scorpio, besides sexuality, and it's all those regenerative issues. And Pluto, which is the co-ruler, is conjuncted. That's her transformational energies in Scorpio are so clearly helping with Scorpio, I mean with Texas. And you can also say that her leadership of authority and her position in the government in Capricorn is also directly at 8 degrees conjunct the ego sun of Texas, the entire state, helping it immensely. And her innovative sense, 1 degree Capricorn, Uranus is innovative. It's looking for how to improve. Well, yeah. And that's with their thinking. So she's working on their transportation and communicating, that's it, communicating with the state in order to assist its well-being of its stature, of ego, of body, of form, of everything that the soul the body represents in the sun. And more than that, if we look at the values of Venus, with Venus of Texas, that Alexandria's north node here, Texas's north node is getting transformed by her sense of empowerment, of exchange, of resources, and here her sense of destiny, of improving people, improving groups, of elevating standards, is connected with their value system, which uh, I think perhaps they're on the shadow side. Maybe it's more for the elite and not the group. So that's one indication. If we look further, Alexandria with the USA, again, Mars to the rescue, that action. It's in Libra and it's exactly conjunct by a degree of the United States sense of a capacity of authority and direction. She's helping restructure what she feels that in relationships, that our relationships needs to extend that that direction of mastery. And really, very closely, we see here that in Cancer, which is in the seventh house, her seventh house, and the United States, because her rising sign is just 3 degrees from the United States. If we were to swap this, you would see how closely it is. There you go. It's very close. Now, this is the United States on the inside, but here, Alexandria, her philosophy of caring for the homes and the food and the elders, the ancestors, is exactly what the United States also has in our chart. And she connects with that. And it's conjunct within 5 degrees. It really exemplifies it. And her sense of reclaiming, nurturing Sirius, it has grief and loss through that, is also connected with our values. And it's so strong here. And okay, so we've done that. Let's go on because we'll lose our 10 minutes pretty quick. Here is a very subtle direction, but again, it shows a deep connection here with, this is Alexandria in the middle, her direction. And it's the United States. In this sense, our 245 years later, this is where our Mars is. And it's exactly close to that. We need to be elevating our communities. It's essential. She is really triggering something here that's so valuable. And Texas also, how does Texas look at it? Well, Texas is the recipient here of, again, with the United States, all three of them, with Alexandria, because it's with their needs of their values. Well, thank you so much. I'm hope that this has given some illumination of how astrology really represents individuals and our collective community. The United States has a great path that we're going towards transiting to improve our sense of empowerment for all. That means individually and for all. And I think Alexandria has really tapped into it. Thank you so much. And you can help me grow by subscribing. So we'll see you again. And I awfully apologize. I'm going to listen to every single one after this. Okay. We'll see you again. Good night.